Hello AP Biology students, we're almost done with Unit 2. We're on the last section. In this section, we're gonna go over feedback loops. The first type of feedback loop is something called a positive feedback loop. This is where a product of a reaction will lead to an increase in the stimulus for that reaction. So in these type of feedbacks, the stimulus is increased by the product. You can see in our example a stimulus changing A into B, and then there's a positive feedback of B increasing A, which increases more B, which increases more A, which increases more B. This is why it's known as a positive feedback loop. I always like to use a non-cell communication example when talking about these positive and negative feedback loops. The one here for a positive feedback loop is cattle starting to run. Other cattle see the cattle running, so they start to panic, so they start to run, and there's more panic because other cattle see them running. And this is a positive feedback loop where, again, the number of cattle running will increase the overall panic, which will increase the number of cattle running, and just keeps on going and going. A negative feedback loop returns the initial positive stimulus to a regular stable rate. You can see here in our example, we have A being changed to B, but B is stopping the production of A. Again, this is a negative feedback loop. The production of B stops the initial stimulus. An example of a negative feedback loop is like how you warm yourself up and cool yourself down when you're too hot or too cold. When you're too hot, you need to cool down, so you start to sweat, and that sweat cools you down, so you get back to that normal temperature. When you're too cold, you're decreasing in temperature, so you start to shiver to warm yourself back up by moving your muscles. Then that will warm you up to that normal temperature.